recently I did a video where I featured this box right here. It is for my microphone booster, and I was really enjoying the sound so much that I thought I would bring it back for another video. So in addition to that, I've been talking on the channel a lot about sort of becoming better at just talking on the microphones. I know that sounds simple, but lately I've been watching a lot of streamers who post their clips onto YouTube, and I've just been absolutely blown away by how natural, how fun their streams are, and as someone who has started recording themselves on camera, I realize how hard that is to do. And I know that it's something that comes with time and with practice, so here we are. And I've also found that giving myself something to kind of focus on, this box for example, has allowed me to sort of become more of myself by extension, and that's something that gets me super excited when I am watching this footage back on my computer and the videos feel like me. And I go like, I don't know, it's like so cool to see, like for me, I go, oh my goodness, I am getting better. Like this is the representation of that, and it's something that I'd like to level up as we go along. But I was gonna say, if you can allow me to do my own horn for a second, I feel like over I would say the videos that I've been recording this past month, so from about the middle of June to now, it's just roughly the middle of July, I feel like I've kind of taken my videos to the next level. I just recorded another video where I mentioned my first one, and boy is there an improvement there. Don't watch my first video, please don't. It's super cringy and embarrassing. It's awful. I've been thinking of making a reaction video to it actually. We'll see though. Maybe I can summon up the courage to do it. I do feel like once I get through it, it'll be kind of a relief, seeing that thankfully I don't record videos like that anymore. So other than that, I haven't done a true ramble video in a little while. And guys, boy do I like to talk. I don't know. It just kind of, for me anyway, I have a lot going on up in my head, and when I, can just kind of get it out and have somewhere to put it and tell you guys what's been going on, it is nice to kind of get some things out of my head and make room for others. haven't found kind of an overlapping weekend yet. And he's super busy and works a lot. I'm super busy and work a lot. So, you know, we are very similar in a lot of ways. And I guess that includes our unavailability as well. So finally the other day, you know, I called him on Friday night because we do talk on the phone a fair amount. He's one of my friends who will talk for like, you know, maybe like 2 hours on the phone at a time, but not every day, like every few weeks or so. So guys, get yourself a friend like that. It is a lot of fun. I do like talking on the phone, I must say. So finally, it was Friday night, like I said, and I was just finally like, hey man, what are you doing tomorrow? Like, I know we don't have plans for this weekend. Maybe we could do a day trip though. And then he was like, you know what, actually, I do have tomorrow free. So my friend is, well, studied aquaculture and works at a fish lab. I don't really know doing what, to be honest. Like, he's explained it to me before, and it's just like, whew, completely goes over my head. So, I was like, okay, both of us are available. What should we do? And I've kind of been hounding him to head down to, where is it? New Jersey. Oh, I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's one of the beach towns in New Jersey. He and I are actually both pretty into photography. And, this is my same friend who insisted that I start shooting film. And I love him and hate him for that, because film has gotten very, very expensive lately and increasingly hard to find. There's been kind of a resurgence. And, you know, Kodak, Fuji, some of them are discontinuing films, but also with supply chain and all of those other things that go into the aspects of making the film. It is, one, they can't keep up with the demand, but it is also more expensive for them to produce. So you have a scarcity with a price increase, so very, very good for consumers. Anyway, I digress. So, I'm looking on the map. He lives in Baltimore, and I live in New York. And I said, okay, what is like the halfway point for us? And my friend was like, you know, I've heard the aquarium in Atlantic City is pretty good. And I did not mention this earlier, but it has been raining on and off all day here, so I did hear some thunder just now in the background. But I said, okay, we could do that. You know, he and I aren't really big gamblers. By big gamblers, we're not gamblers at all. Like, literally, we've went to one casino before, and that was just to see a concert that was there. So anyway, I said, that sounds good, let me look it up. So it turns out 7:30 or so. Oh, now the thunder's really starting up. I was like, okay, dude, like, I'm gonna buy some tickets. Like, they recommend that you make a reservation because they only let a certain number of people in per hour. So I said, okay, let's get in the area of the aquarium at like 11:30, and let's get some lunch and chill out for a little bit. I'll make our reservations for around 1, and then we'll just go in, we'll have a good time. I brought one of my film cameras with me, my Minolta CLE. If you guys saw that on my favorite things video, I've been using that now for a few months, and it's been really fun, actually. It's just sort of one of those small, kind of go-everywhere cameras, especially when it has the 40mm lens on it. Typically, I like to, if I'm kind of on the go, I'll bring one of my smaller cameras with me, and if I make kind of a special trip for the photos, I'll bring one of my medium format cameras. But you get good results either way. So Saturday rolled around, and I got there at 11:30 because I am that kind of person. I got there at 11:28 actually. So my friend was a little bit late. He got there around, I want to say 12-ish, but he's a little bit looser than I am, and I really, I don't know, I respect him for it. He's loosened me up over the years, and I really appreciate that. So, Camden is actually very close to Philadelphia, and there weren't any great lunch options around the aquarium, so, we headed over to Philly, got some sandwiches, hung out for a little while, walked around the city for a bit, and it was just really, really nice to see him in person. It's something that I wish I got to do more often. And he's back on the East Coast now, so I can, which I'm really, really looking forward to us taking some weekend trips and that kind of thing. But I was gonna say, how do I get you guys up on the story? So my friend was in exhibits where you can learn about the ocean. Just like, I don't know, I like learning about new things. So it's just like, oh my goodness, like I didn't know that, I didn't know this, like that is really cool. And I'm laughing now because we went to the kind of kids section of the aquarium, and they have like these tanks, and they don't go like all the way to the ground. So like if you're a kid, you can like crouch down underneath it, and then there's like this dome that you can look through, and like kind of the fish are swimming all over your head. So I let all the kids go first, but I got in there as well. It was really cool. I did 10 out of 10. I'd do it again. But it was just, a really fun day. And then after that, the aquarium closed, what was it, around 5? So we stayed, till they closed from around 1 to 5, and even then we didn't see all the exhibits. It's like, you could do a day there. Well, if you're really interested, you could. And there goes the rain. It's sort of gone between like absolutely downpouring today and then just letting up, like nothing in between. So not even a light drizzle, not even like kind of a steady amount. It is just like full on or nothing. So let's see, after the aquarium, we went back into Philadelphia, and we went to actually see the Liberty Bell just on a whim because it was right there. We found ourselves right in the heart of the city. So one of the park rangers there was kind of telling us a lot about the Liberty Bell that I didn't know. And so no one knows exactly for sure why the Liberty Bell is cracked, but, well, not that they don't know, but it could be like one of a couple different reasons, and they don't know which one it is. So, the metal that comprises it, we didn't know what we know about casting now. So the metal itself is pretty brittle. It was used a lot. So it's kind of a question of, is it overuse or is it like the metal composition? And what I didn't realize is the original Liberty Bell was melted down and recast. And it was done actually in Philadelphia. I forget the name of the blacksmiths, but this park ranger telling us about it, she said that they recast it and they put their name into it, and I was just like, that is the most American thing that's ever happened. Of just like someone else has made it and you're just recasting it and you're like, yeah, we did it. I don't know, we had a good laugh about that. So there is another bell now where the Liberty Bell used to be. It's called the Centennial Bell. I think that's right. I think it's called the Centennial Bell. You may want to double check me on that. But it is much larger and heavier than the Liberty Bell is. And that has been what's taken its place since. And it's still in operation, which is very impressive. But like, I don't know, there's something about these objects from history that really fascinate me because, you see photos legitimizes it in a way, because when it comes to historical artifacts, we all kind of conceptually know, like, it was made in this, made in this date, we kind of know its history, and it just does something about it, when you're in front of it, just, like, makes you take note of it in a new way. But also a lot of the exhibits were really, really interesting, because I don't know if you guys know this, but there's an inscription on the Liberty Bell, and it talks about equality for all, and it's just weird seeing that, because back in those days, obviously, people know about, the absolute horrors of slavery, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just weird, this disconnect of equality for all, and then you're also enslaving people. It just doesn't make sense to me. But, that is kind of, to be fair, back in those days, there were a lot of people that knew that it was wrong back then. So, I can't really know the thinking and the motivations of people who lived back in those days, but I don't know, it was just, there were some interesting reading pieces in the exhibits around how to kind of, quantify and think about these two ideas of both equality and inequality sort of at the same time. This, this disconnect between the two ideas. So, that kind of stuck with me, as you guys can tell. But, I'll be honest with you guys, my friend and I, it was a little bit of a bummer, reading about that stuff, so we got ice cream after it. And, we did a little bit of sightseeing, some walking around, and it was just a beautiful day, like perfect weather, like not too hot, not too cold. And he's one of my really, really good friends who I can have like a real conversation about life with, which I enjoy. And he's one of those friends who I can, like, say what's on my mind, talk about, the real stuff, not just superficial things, which, for me is good. I need people like that in my life, to be honest with you guys, because I've talked about, I overthink things sometimes, and I just really need, especially when I'm wrong, I need people to be like, yo, what are you doing? Man, that rain is getting super strong. I think we'll just kind of let that take the foreground and let these tapping sounds and me talking occupy a little bit more of the background. So it was, we got to kind of the end of the day, and it's always sad when you have to leave, it's like, oh, but it was such a great day, I don't want to leave. So I drove back. It was about maybe a 2-hour drive, and on the way home I just put on, I've been listening to a lot of Joy Wave, especially since they released an album fairly recently. So I've kind of thrown them back like listening to individual songs. And then I got back around maybe 11:15-ish, somewhere around that, but I was just like, oh, I'm tired, and got into bed and fell asleep, but it was a really, really fun day. So he and I had been talking a little bit more about finding a weekend that we can do something. I don't know exactly what yet. Maybe a trip to Washington, D.C. Maybe the National Zoo or something like that. We'll see. We've also been kind of just discussing like getting an Airbnb like near a lake or something, and just like hanging out and taking it easy.